Pleased to be joined today by 2017 BlueClaw Luke Williams. He's in Laguna Niguel, California, getting ready for hopefully a baseball season. We'll see. We're taping this on June 10th, so if any news breaks after June 10th and before you see it, that's why. Luke, welcome. How are you?
Good. How are you? Thanks for having me, Greg.
Awesome. So what have you been up to since you've been back home now for the last almost 3 months?
I've been trying to, do as much baseball activity as I can. It was tough at the beginning with everything being closed. And for the most part, everything is slowly starting to open up around here. So I've been able to hit, 3 or 4 times a week and still able to work out with my trainer. But other than that, I've been going to the beach a lot.
Yeah.
We've been having some really nice weather out here. So
and you haven't been home this time of year, since you got drafted.
Right. Yeah. I'm telling everyone, it's like, man, it's weird being home in June right now because I haven't been home in June since right before I got drafted. So it would have been 2014, I think, was my last summer.
So, take us through what's your typical day?
So I usually wake up at around probably 8 a.m., start training at 9. That'll be about an hour with my trainer. We go to this park in Irvine. It's called Quail Hill Park. And there's this kind of like uphill dirt hill that we kind of do a whole bunch of crazy stuff up. It's pretty good stuff. And then I'll go throw. I have one of my best friends plays for the Reds. He was in Dayton last year. So we've been doing a lot of stuff together with throwing and hitting. And then just the last couple of weeks, I've been able to start to get on a field and get some ground balls in, which has been good.
So, like the pitchers, obviously, will take a little longer to ramp up. How long do you think it would take you as a position player from the time you get back to Florida or to Philly or wherever you end up training?
Yeah.
To be fully ready for a season?
Yeah, like you said, I think the pitchers would definitely need a little more time. But I think for me personally, I'd probably say 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks max, which I think is kind of like the timetable we would get for a second spring training. I think that would be plenty.
Have you faced any live pitching?
Once. I faced some live pitching. I think it was a week or 2 ago. A couple arms around the area we got together. So
you were in big league camp. This is your first time in big league camp?
Yeah, first big league camp.
What was that experience like for you?
That was a pretty crazy experience. When I got the phone call, it was like I almost got drafted again. It was pretty awesome. And then first day walking in, you're seeing so many big leaguers: Bryce Harper, Andrew McCutchen, Jay Bruce. It's all these guys that you've watched on TV for years, and then you're in the same clubhouse as them. I'd say it probably took a week for me to be like, all right, they're just baseball players. They're my teammates now, But just being able to kind of be a bug on the wall and watch and observe what all these big leaguers do day in and day out. It was something I'll never forget.
And you'll get to do it again, hopefully, very soon.
Yeah. And hopefully, I keep doing it.
The spring for you, were you doing a lot more with the outfielders, the infielders? Well, I know you started to play a lot more positions than when you were in Lakewood.
Yeah. I was still doing, the utility thing, but most of the time I was with the infielders. I think, the big thing for me is to get ground balls in every day. So, the outfield work I could do during BP and get, track some balls down. And occasionally I do some early work with outfielders, but for the most part, it was with the infielders.
Who was a veteran in big league camp that you kind of got to work with a little bit and maybe you looked up to, from this spring?
Yeah. Logan Forsythe was definitely the one that I interacted with a lot. And he kind of I mean, pretty much took me under his wing, and it was a perfect guy for me to be with, because he's, kind of that utility player too, plays all over the field, and just being able to pick his brain every day, and also on a personal level too, getting to learn other things like that was awesome.
We're talking with 2017 Blue Claw Luke Williams. Remember, you can score savings at the dentist with Choosy. The free, easy-to-use app saves you an average of 24% at the dentist. Save more, smile more, learn more at grandslamsavings.com. So let's go back. 2017, you're in Lakewood, first year with a full season club. What do you remember most about that summer?
Wow. I mean, it was Lakewood was a first-class organization. They treated us so well with just, day in and day out. It was obviously my first year in full season with, road trips and everything like that. It was, a lot of times it was pretty tough on us, but it was so awesome. And all the host families that were in Lakewood were first class. Mine personally, the Stillwells were incredible, and I got to meet a few other host families as well. So it was a great experience.
When we had we did this with Derek Hall the other day, and in the background he put a picture of you hugging him on the field after or high-fiving him after a win or a big play or something. So you guys have gotten to move up, not just you and Derek, but you and others have gotten to move up from from that team, and you develop friendships, relationships with those guys that started in in the lower minors, and now you're teammates with them at higher levels.
Yeah, that's one thing that we talk about a lot, is we've had a solid crew of about, dudes, 5-6 guys that have come up from Williamsport all the way up to Reading this past season. And friendships that we've created are, friendships that'll last forever. We all went to Henry Lartigue's wedding this past off season. So those are friendships that, we've created, and they're really strong and something that we really cherish.
Give me your favorite Marty Malloy story.
Oh man. I don't know. I'm trying to think of one that's probably good for TV or good for
Please
Twitter.
do.
Let's see. Well, I think the one thing that really cracks us up is whenever we have team meetings, he always talked about how he didn't really enjoy them too much. He didn't like having everyone together and having like a structured meeting. And he'd always start every meeting with, "Man, I hate these meetings." And then it'd be a 30 to 45 minute meeting. And while he's doing it, he's got some tobacco, and he's spitting every 10 seconds. He's like yelling at us. So that's one of the a funny story about Marty Malloy.
You will hopefully get to work with him a little more directly this year with him as the infield coordinator. Did you work with him in the spring too?
Yeah. He was at the beginning. I think it was the first 2 weeks of big league camp. He was there every single day, and it was great working with him. It's different now, because he's not his manager mode.
Right.
So it's, infield coordinator. So he's a little more relaxed. He's not as hard on us as he was as a manager. But I think that was one thing that I really loved about Marty. He was hard on us, but he's got our backs 100%. And that's something I really cherish from Marty.
For you, last 2 years since you left Lakewood, how do you think you've gotten better as a player?
Well, I think the versatility has definitely improved my game, and it's brought some value to my game, being able to play around the field. And I've really, ever since that Lakewood season, I went to Columbia, and I played in Columbia winter ball. And ever since then, I've just been trying to improve myself offensively as much as I could, trying to establish what kind of hitter I am. And I think, I still have been struggling a little bit with putting together a full 140 game season. But because the last 2 seasons I've been able to put together really good second half seasons. So I think I've definitely improved offensively, but the big key for me for the next couple of years is being able to do it 140 games instead of maybe 80 games.
The versatility. When did you start to play in the outfield with the Phillies?
Well, they brought it up to me towards the end of the Lakewood season that they wanted me to start doing the utility player, and then I started. I guess I didn't really officially start playing outfield until the second half of Clearwater, which would have been 2018. And I was totally open to it. I've done it my whole life. When I was younger, I played catcher, shortstop, center field. I played all in the middle of the field. So I was totally open for it, and it's actually benefited me a lot. So yeah.
I know last year you played all 8 positions, not pitcher. And then in Clearwater, you played everywhere except shortstop. Have you ever talked to anybody, or have you ever thought about well, actually, sorry, 7. You haven't caught in a professional game yet. But have you ever talked to anybody about maybe doing one of those things where you play them all in one game?
Yeah, Sean Williams and I talked about it last year in Reading because we clinched playoffs, and then we had I think we had 4. We had a series against Trenton after that, and I really wanted to do it, and Sean really wanted me to do it too, but a couple people that were above our pay grade shut it down.
Maybe this year.
Hopefully, hopefully. I mean, yeah.
You caught before, right?
Yeah, I caught my whole junior year of high school, and then I've actually caught some bullpens in the last couple of years. And then at one point in Reading, we had one game. We were in Bowie, and Austin Bosart had just gotten traded.
Right.
And we only had one catcher. It was only Henry. So I was like, for I think it was one day because we got a new catcher the next day. I was the backup catcher for a day.
For one day.
Yeah. So that was pretty funny.
Where do you feel most comfortable?
I would say anywhere in the infield. Probably third. I've played, most of my career at third. Pretty comfortable there. Second base, pretty comfortable as well. And then, but so yeah, I would say infield most comfortable, but I'm pretty comfortable all over.
What are the differences among the 3 different outfield positions?
I would say center field. You have a little more freedom because you're in the middle of the field and you're pretty much the boss. So you can.
It's your ball, yeah.
It's your ball. You go get it. And then I think that corner outfield is a little more, I guess, technical, or you got to be a little more aware of the wall and the foul lines and stuff like that. So yeah.
Luke Williams, 2017 BlueClaws, our guest. Everyone scores savings with Choosy, the free, easy-to-use app that gets you dental savings for everyone in your family, with or without insurance. Save more, smile more. Visit Choosy at grandslamsavings.com. What goals have you set for yourself for this season? Maybe you set them before everything went down, but what goals have you set for yourself for this year?
Yeah, well, a goal for mine was, to make the Lehigh team. That was a big goal. And then just going with the offense, I think the biggest thing for me is to be able to put together a 140-game season offensively. So I think that was the biggest goal for me, was to hit the ground running and go for it. Keep it going.
How much contact have you had with the staff from the Phillies during the time you've been home?
The big league staff
or the coordinators, the coaches.
coordinators. Yeah, we've interacted probably once or twice a week. We'll have Zoom calls, and I think a lot of the time it's just so we see each other's faces, get to interact, because I think that's the one part that everyone misses the most is the camaraderie and seeing each other every day. So yeah, once or twice a week.
And you guys miss it, but I'm sure they miss it too.
Yeah, we all miss it. We all really miss it. That's just everyone I talk to, text. It's, man, we got to get back to baseball.
Yeah. Who was the toughest pitcher that you got to face in the big league spring training game?
I got one start in Detroit, and it was Turball. I'm blanking on his last name right now, but he was probably the toughest pitcher I faced in big league spring training. He was like 95, 97 right-hander, sinker, cutter, slider. So
how'd you do?
I let's see, popped out to the center fielder, and then I grounded out to short. And then my third at bat, they brought in a lefty. I hit a double.
Spencer Turnbull?
Yeah, Spencer Turnbull.
There you go.
Yeah, he was good.
All right, go back to Lakewood here. What was your favorite special jersey?
Favorite special jersey? Wow. We had so many of them.
Yeah, I know. We make you go somewhere else.
Yeah, there were a lot of good ones. I'd probably say the BlueClaws.
Yeah.
Bruce Springsteen one. That one was probably one of my favorites. And the Beatles one too. We had a Beatles one that was real too. Because my dad's a diehard Beatles fan. So that had some
personal connection.
Yeah, personal connection.
Yeah. Luke, thanks so much for a few minutes. Really appreciate it. And hopefully we'll get to see you out on the diamond here pretty soon.
Yeah, appreciate it, Greg. Thanks for having me.